Here's the situation. You finally decided you deserve a Porsche. You're ready to live the dream. You need to carve up those canyons, and you've convinced yourself that every open strip of pavement is your personal racetrack. But now you've got a dilemma. Do you need the 911, or will the less expensive, often overlooked Boxster do the trick? Well, lucky for you, I've spent some quality seat time in the 911 that I own and in this 2017 Porsche Boxster, and today I'll answer your questions. I'll solve the existential Porsche crisis. Do you need a rear-engined icon like the 911, or will this mid-engine Boxster be just fine? First up, the 911 Carrera, the car that everybody admires without ever understanding why. But as soon as you slide behind the wheel, you instantly get it. This car is built for the driver. This 911 curves around you, and this classic 911 silhouette gets attention no matter where it goes. Not in a bad way though, people do admire this thing. They love the way it looks, and if you drive this kind of a car, it signifies that you're a true car guy. If you pull up in a Lamborghini, it's so over the top, people will think that you bought it just to get attention. Not so with the 911, it gets attention of the good kind. Even non-car people can appreciate a 911. What can I say? Everybody loves a Porsche 911. But what does that mean for the cheaper mid-engine Boxster? Well, I hate to say it, this has got some image problems. The Boxster always gets an unfair bad rap. Some people question whether even it's a real Porsche, but they have no idea what they're talking about. The Boxster actually has the engine in the right place in the middle for perfect weight distribution and balance. I personally prefer the looks of a 911 more, but from the front, this is unmistakably Porsche. The side vents on this 2017 Boxster look excellent. My favorite aspect of the Boxster is how it looks from the back, with the Porsche lettering sticking out and the 718 numbers, and the long sloping trunk lid. Overall, the Porsche Boxster looks pretty good, especially considering how much it costs. This 2017 Boxster you can get for under $40,000. A comparable 911 from that same year would be at least double that. The seating position, much like the 911, is very similar in the Boxster. Low to the ground, ultimate sports car feel. The interior of the Boxster is very similar to the Porsche 911. The layout and the buttons all look and feel the same. This is a 2017 Porsche Boxster, so you have a nicer screen, a nicer display. But when you're sitting inside the car, the feel is very similar. Of course, in the 911, you have the back seat, so it's a bit more spacious. In the Boxster, it's an extremely tight fit. No room to move the seat back any further. Gauges almost exactly the same. Door panels very similar, same side pockets. Useless cup holders, check. It's crazy to think that a cheaper Boxster gives you a very similar feel to what you find inside a 911. This is a convertible, really easy to put the roof down with the switch. This makes the fun factor go up in this car by 1,000 times. With the roof down, the Boxster looks even better. Nobody would buy a Boxster or a 911 for their practicality. The Boxster, for one, has no back seats. The 911 does have back seats, but you have to bend a person in half to fit them in there. The benefit of the Boxster being mid-engine is you have a trunk and a frunk. With the 911, you only have a frunk. But let's be honest, you're not looking at either of these cars for storage and hauling things around. The beauty with both the 911 and Boxsters are they can be really good daily drivers because they're not so low to the ground where they're scraping against everything. Pretty good ground clearance despite the fact that these are very low to the ground. Excellent engineering by Porsche to make this work so beautifully. Even though you can buy the Boxster for a lot cheaper than the 911, maintenance costs will roughly be the same. Porsche parts are going to be Porsche parts, so just have some money saved up. A few $1,000s for annual maintenance repairs, nothing too excessive. Definitely worth the cost considering what these cars are. This is the 2017 718 Porsche Boxster, which means it has the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. With the 718 generation is when Porsche decided to do that and move away from the flat 6-cylinder engines. The big difference in this Boxster versus what I have in the 911 is that there's more low-end torque on this one. You definitely feel it at the lower RPMs. But sound-wise, there's no comparison. My 911 sounds amazing. The Boxster doesn't sound terrible. It's still pretty good for what it is, a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. But it's still nowhere near the same. That's why a lot of people prefer the previous generation Boxster, the 981, in which you do get the naturally aspirated engines. But honestly, it doesn't matter that much because this Boxster drives brilliantly. The mid-engine layout, the weight distribution, such good balance. You feel the stickiness of the Boxster around turns. Really fun and enjoyable to drive. With cars like this, I would always recommend a manual like in my 911. The stick shift makes these cars that much better. But there's no denying that the Porsche PDK transmission is fantastic. The quick shifts make this car feel so much faster. In this Boxster, you do get 300 horsepower, which is quite a bit because the car only weighs 3,000 pounds. The Boxster might be a lot cheaper than the 911, but you're still getting a lot of car. Right away with the 911, I just feel better handling, and there's a reason for that because mine's older. It's a 2013, the Boxster is a 2017, and over the years, the steering feel has gotten more and more disconnected in the cars. In this one, it feels great. It's heavy, you get a lot of road feedback, and overall, it's a more rewarding driving experience. Not to say that the Boxster is bad, it's just that this one is better. Back in the day when 911s came out with their rear engine, those things were tough to drive because of the weight distribution. Lift off the throttle at the wrong time and you would spin out and crash into a wall. But with all the engineering over the years, Porsche has really fine-tuned the experience, and you wouldn't know any better that you were driving a car with so much weight in the back. Porsche just leaned into its rear engine design and just kept making it better and better. The end result is you get an amazing handling car, super planted, and when you floor it, those rear wheels stick like no other. You can take these turns at whatever speed you want. You don't have to slow down. The 911 is so light, so nimble. It's tough to find a two-seater that drives better than this. Driving my 911 and the Boxster back to back make you realize how good the Boxster is. To know that a car like that can come this close to a 911 at half the cost or even less, most people don't realize that they could get a cheap Boxster and have so much fun with it, almost as much as you get with the 911. But if you do get a Boxster or a 911, the manual is what I'd recommend because it's so much more fun, especially if you get base models like with my Carrera or the Boxster base. You don't have a ton of power in them, but with the manual, you don't really care. The best part of my 911 is this naturally aspirated 6-cylinder manual transmission pairing. In the higher revs, it sounds oh so sweet. Roll down the windows for maximum auditory pleasure. 350 horsepower in my base Carrera. Ring this thing out. Pretty awesome. Nothing like being able to shift your gears yourself. You might be wondering if you have a Boxster, if you're gonna wish you owned a 911 instead. The Boxster is absolutely fantastic considering how much you pay for it. For 25 grand, you get an excellent car. If you're looking for pure driving pleasure, the Boxster is maximum bang for the buck excitement. But it's hard to deny what a 911 brings to the table. I can tell you from experience after living with this 911 for some time now that this actually is a pretty great daily driver. It's a comfortable ride that can take turns like no other car. People always say how special the 911 is, and I finally know what they're talking about. It's not all hype and empty words. The 911 is not cheap, but it's absolutely worth it. If you can't buy one of these right now, don't worry because you've got the Boxster. It's a great mid-engine car, great convertible, and for the money, it's a fantastic purchase. And just like the 911, the Boxster is a Porsche, and you can't go wrong with any Porsche.